The screen is black. A faint heartbeat echoes in the silence. A whisper cuts through the darkness. Blood. It always finds a way back. The sound of rain begins. A single drop of crimson falls onto stone. The title flickers faintly like fire struggling to stay alive. Then an abrupt flash of faces, broken, betrayed, but gone in an instant. The audience is left with only shadows and the uneasy sound of breath. Asterisk the heartbeat grows louder. A slow drumbeat joins, like we're building in the distance. Words appear on screen, written in bold strokes. Blood runs deeper than secrets. Asterisk the faceless narrator's voice comes in low, steady, and filled with weight. Asterisk every choice they made was written in blood. Every lie they told was carved into their own fate. And now, there is no turning back. Asterisk the screen flashes to fragments of memory. A hand closing tightly over a knife. A door slammed shut in anger. A hidden letter sliding under the floorboards. Quick flashes, never long enough to see fully, just enough to make the audience lean in closer. Asterisk the narrator continues, voice weaving with the images. Asterisk they thought silence would protect them. They thought betrayal would bury the truth, but the past does not forgive. The past always bleeds through. Asterisk the sound of whispers begins, layered, overlapping, like ghosts pressing against the screen. We hear fragments of dialogue out of order, distorted. Asterisk you were never meant to know. Asterisk it wasn't me, it was him. Asterisk if you walk away now, you will never return. Asterisk the whispers fade, leaving only the slow, heavy sound of breath. Then darkness again. Asterisk suddenly a sharp metallic sound slices through. The cocking of a gun, a gasp echoes. A pair of eyes appear in the shadows wide and blinking, afraid. They vanish before the audience can take a full look. Asterisk the narrator's voice returns, sharper this time. Asterisk when family ties are broken, vengeance becomes destiny. Asterisk the screen begins to flicker between images. Asterisk a shattered mirror. Asterisk blood dripping onto a white cloth. Asterisk footsteps echoing in an empty hallway. Asterisk a figure standing in the rain. Motionless. Asterisk the pacing grows faster. The sound of drums builds like thunder. Rolling closer. The tension is rising, pulling the audience deeper. Asterisk then everything stops. A long pause. Only the sound of rain remains. Asterisk the screen turns black again. And one line appears in red letters. Asterisk episode 4 is not about what they reveal, but what they can no longer hide. Asterisk the narrator whispers, almost like a warning. Asterisk this is only the beginning. Asterisk fade to silence. The screen stays black for a breath too long. Then suddenly a flame flickers. A letter burns slowly, the edges curling, words disappearing into ash. The fire crackles, but behind it, we hear something. Else someone whispering a prayer. The voice is trembling, breaking. The prayer ends with silence. And then a scream cuts through, sharp and sudden. Asterisk the narrator's voice is low, drawn out. Asterisk the truth cannot be buried. Not when blood is the ink that writes it. Asterisk images begin to rush past like flashes of memory. Asterisk a hand smearing blood across a wall. Almost like writing a message. Asterisk a key dropped into muddy water. Asterisk someone running through the rain, barefoot, breath ragged. Asterisk a figure standing in the doorway, watching but never stepping forward. Asterisk the music grows darker, heavier, almost like a heartbeat, turning into war drums. Asterisk then, the voice of the main character cuts through. Calm but broken. Asterisk if I spill their blood, will it free me or curse me? Asterisk the audience is left hanging in that moment, trying to decide if it's a vow or a confession. Asterisk the screen flickers again. Now we see a shadow of a person kneeling, head bowed, shaking hands, clutching something small, maybe a ring, maybe a blade. The camera never shows the object clearly, only the trembling, the weight of the moment. Asterisk the narrator speaks again, this time faster, urgent. Asterisk every secret has a cost. Every lie has a witness, and now the debt must be paid. Asterisk suddenly. The silence breaks with chaos. A door slams open. Footsteps rush. Someone yells but the sound is muted, like the world is swallowing it. The only thing sharp is the pounding of the drums, louder and louder, faster and faster. Asterisk quick cuts. Asterisk a glass shatters into the ground. Asterisk a child's drawing torn in half. Asterisk a woman's face, crying but defiant. Asterisk a hand gripping a gun, finger hovering on the trigger but never pulling. Asterisk the sequence ends with one chilling image, a figure standing under a streetlight, face hidden in shadow, holding something dripping in their hand. The light flickers, then dies. Asterisk silence returns. Asterisk and then a whisper barely audible, almost lost in the dark. Asterisk blood remembers. Asterisk the screen goes black again. Only the sound of a slow breath remains, steady but unnerving. Asterisk the sound of a single clock ticking begins, slow, relentless, tick, tick, tick. The screen stays black. Then, out of nowhere, a sharp inhale is heard like someone waking from a nightmare. Asterisk the clock stops. Silence. Asterisk then everything erupts at once. Asterisk images slam into the screen, each only a second long. Asterisk a corridor, lit only by a swinging light bulb. Asterisk a shadow dragging something heavy across the floor. Asterisk a pair of hands, shaking, covered in both dirt and blood. Asterisk a mouth open in a scream but no sound comes out. Asterisk the narrator's voice tears through the chaos, not calm this time, but almost warning, almost desperate. Asterisk you cannot outrun what lives inside you. You cannot silence the blood that calls your name. Asterisk the drums from earlier return, but now they're faster, frantic, colliding with the sound of whispers. The whispers rise, overlapping, thousands of voices all speaking at once but none can be understood. The effect is dizzying, suffocating. Asterisk suddenly. A gunshot, loud, final. Asterisk the screen turns white with the flash. And in that flash, an image is revealed. Asterisk a mirror cracked in the center. A single eye staring through the fracture. Asterisk the sound cuts again. For a second, total silence. Asterisk then footsteps. Slow, steady, approaching closer. The footsteps stop. Asterisk anew. Voice speaks, not the narrator, not anyone we've heard before. It's rough, low, and terrifying in its calmness. Asterisk family does not forgive. Family does not forget. Asterisk the screen glitches violently, flickering with flashes too fast to catch. Asterisk a woman holding a candle in the dark. Asterisk a hand slamming against glass. Asterisk chains tightening around wrists. Asterisk a child's lullaby being hummed off-key. Asterisk the humming continues, echoing as the images speed up until it feels unbearable. The tension reaches its breaking point. Asterisk and then silence again. Asterisk one last image appears, burned into the darkness. Asterisk a figure kneeling in a pool of blood, but the blood spreads outward, moving like it's alive. Asterisk the narrator whispers. Asterisk this is the price of secrets. This is the weight of blood. Asterisk the screen cuts to black. Asterisk the screen is pitch black. Nothing moves. Nothing speaks. For a long moment, there is only silence. Then a faint drip of water, slow, echoing. Each drop sounds heavier than the last, until it doesn't sound like water anymore. It sounds like blood. Asterisk the drip stops. Asterisk whisper cuts through the silence, trembling but filled with rage. Asterisk family is forever. But so is revenge. Asterisk the words hang heavy, and the screen cracks literally, like glass breaking from the inside. Behind the cracks, glimpses of faces flicker, eyes filled with tears, mouths shouting but unheard, shadows watching silently. Each crack spreads wider until the whole screen is splintered. Asterisk suddenly, everything shatters. The sound of breaking. Glass roars, then vanishes, leaving only a hollow ringing. Asterisk the narrator's voice returns, this time softer, almost mournful. Asterisk in the end, blood remembers. Blood always remembers. Asterisk images return in slow motion, haunting. Asterisk a lone candle being blown out. Asterisk a child's toy lying abandoned in mud. Asterisk a handprint in blood on a white wall. Asterisk a figure walking away into fog, their face never revealed. Asterisk the music fades to a low hum, like a warning bell in the distance. Asterisk then, a final heartbeat. Louder than before, it echoes once, twice, 3 times, and then stops. Asterisk the screen goes dark again. Asterisk slowly, the title appears in red, glowing faintly like it's written in blood. Asterisk blood of my blood, episode for asterisk beneath it. Smaller words fade in, one after another. Asterisk first look. Asterisk coming soon. Asterisk you are not ready. Asterisk the heartbeat returns one last time weak, broken, fading into nothing. Asterisk the trailer ends. Asterisk black screen. A faint heartbeat echoes. A whisper slices through the dark. Asterisk blood. It always finds a way back. Asterisk the sound of rain begins. A single. Crimson drop hits stone. The title flickers faintly, like fire struggling to survive. Faces appear broken, betrayed but vanish before they can be seen fully. Only shadows remain. Asterisk, asterisk.